Gavin Moritz here for Dave Campbell's Texas Football here at the 2023 Texas High School Coaches Association School and Convention. Here with the head coach of the Fulshear Chargers, Nick Codutti. Coach, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you having me, Gavin.
Coach, kind of take me through, first of all, your process of kind of what's coaching school like for you and kind of your routine that you have.
You know, really, it's kind of like that stepping stone, like that first moment where you're like, hey, the season's here, right? And so for our guys and for our coaches, it's that time we start getting together. I give our kids and our coaches, for the most part, the month of July off. And so when they come into coaching school, it's kind of like that, hey, it's time to get to work kind of thing. And so the other thing is, man, you get to connect with all these guys. I'm not from Texas, and so when you get guys in this big place and you get them all together, this is something different. Like, this is a national level thing they do at American Football Coach Association. And so the fact that a state does this, when I came here, it was mind blowing, right?
Right.
And I'm an out-of-state guy, so I hire a lot of out-of-state coaches.
Yeah.
And so these guys come for the first time and they're like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And and I guess maybe you get kind of numb to the idea of what it is. And I think sometimes you take for granted the fact that THSCA does this, and so it's a really big deal. But man, I love this thing. It's just fun. You get to meet guys you haven't seen in a long time. You get to connect. In this business, it's networking. It's about meeting guys, talking to guys, building relationships, and so this is a good spot to do it.
And Coach, you mentioned that you're out of state. You're not from Texas. Kind of take me through your journey and kind of how you got to Fulshear. And I know it's a crazy story. It's one you like to tell, right?
Yeah, I know. It's been kind of wild. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. That's where I was born. Spent a lot of my time in Philly. Was in Missouri for a while. After that, I was in Kansas. I bounced around the NFL, Canada, everywhere. So when I worked college level, things like that. But really, what happened was I went back to Springfield, Missouri, where I got a job there. I was a head football coach at a school called Marshfield. If you ever know where Branson's at, I'm about 30 miles north of Branson. And I was head coach there about 3 or 4 years. I was like 28, and told myself I never want to be a head football coach again. And so I couldn't do the college thing again. It's just the time commitment. I had the kids, and so next best thing is come to Texas, right? And so
right.
A guy named Kevin Flanagan was at Beaumont Westbrook, took a chance on me, said, hey, come on down. You can be my DB's coach. So all right, why not? So next thing you know, in a year, I'm the offensive coordinator, and Eric Peavy's the defensive coordinator. Now to LCM, and we made a good run, and next thing you know, he brings me a Tom Ball where I'm his OC, assistant head coach, strength guy, recruiting guy. Kind of turned the program around there with him, and had the opportunity. Fulshear, Lamar Consolidated was really good to me. They took a couple chances on me, and it's really nice to have somebody take a chance on a guy from out of state. Some slappy who doesn't really know what he's doing, talks too much, and has a social media presence. And so here I am, Fulshear High School, and last year was awesome. So.
Coach, kind of take me through spring ball and the offseason and now summer workouts and kind of how the offseason's been going as a whole for the Chargers.
Man, it's been great. Numbers are awesome. So we've sitting about 600 deep in strength and conditioning in the summer, which has been, man, it's phenomenal. Yeah. But it's been good. Spring ball was really good. Stayed healthy. Got a lot of, got some questions answered, right? That's what you do spring ball. Who's going to play quarterback? Hey, we're going to try something new. I think spring is a fun dynamic. And for us, to kind of keep it live, in the spring, for us, the last week of spring, we had this big draft. So our kids draft their own teams. So you have an offensive player on one side, defensive player on one side, and then you split them, and these are like the seniors, and they don't play. All they do is coach. They have to coach that week. They get to call the plays in the spring game, and you make it a big deal for those kids. And so you got the purple team, white team, and so our spring game had, I think, 7,000 people at it. We had a horse ride our kids onto the field. We had a World War II flyover. It just it's fun, right? Make it exciting. There's no pressure in the spring game, so it was good, man. The kids had watching those kids compete and stuff like that, seeing the community come into the thing, and it was it's fun, man. Fulshear's a good place.
And Coach, I want to talk about this upcoming season, 2023, right? You guys are in a tough district, but let's talk about your non-district schedule. Kind of take me through that.
Strake Jesuit. So last year played Strake Jesuit. Came out, man. It was a good game. They that's a good football team. And so that, for us, we know we're going to be 6A soon. So we wanted to schedule some 6A opponents early. And that was it was a great game. Strake's going to be better, I think. I think they're going to be good. And so we're going to be ready for that one. And the next one is Fort Bend Clements, and Coach Darnell, man, that's the guy. I admire what he does, and I think he does a good job with those kids. And, he's one of my favorite people on earth when it comes to coaching. And so, we'll have those 2 6A games, and then we start the SEC West.
And, Coach, you guys do things like I told you this when I called the game at Seguin last year against Smithson Valley. You guys do things differently at Fulshear in terms of your schemes and your game plan, right?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, you run 2-point conversions, onside kicks. You don't really punt.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of go for it on fourth down all the time. For those that don't know, talk to me about this strategy that you guys kind of run at Fulshear.
So the idea for us is a little different, you know. So my philosophy was, hey, why do we do the things we do? And, you know, for us, it goes back to, it creates an excitement. So offensively, we're not real complex. You know, we run like one play and some formations. So when we go into a 2-point conversion, it's like its own offense. And so for us, we're just trying to steal points. And that's our philosophy, is to steal points, steal possessions. And we've come to the philosophy, and we've kind of realization that if we can convert two 2-point conversions and we can get one onside kick a game, we're going to win that game. We're 100% in 2 years in that situation. And so that's kind of our role into philosophy. And so, you know, a lot of people don't agree with it, you know, and that's okay. You know, for me, it's like, as a coach, and I'm sure every coach watching this, you know, either you're either going to be fired or you're going to get fired. And so, yeah, we're going to do things our way. And, you know, got those kids bought into it. You know, we punted 9 times last year. You know, our kids make a big joke of it. You know, for us, it's like, hey, you know, punt is just an offensive formation, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't punt. You know, when we kick the ball deep, it's because that coach is they're well coached and they're ready for it. And, you know, for us, it's about not getting the return, right? And it's, you know, it's different. It's fun. And it's, for us, we have to make an identity, and we're kind of finding our niche.
And, Coach, you said you guys you have to find an identity, right?
Yeah.
And so if you follow Fulshear on Twitter, if you follow Coach Codutti on Twitter, you've seen hashtag the Dirty F. I have to ask. For those that don't know, tell you about the Dirty F.
So the Dirty F started a couple years when I got there, and so this is really interesting. You know, you get a lot of feedback, good and bad,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a different thing. So, you know, our kids, and I'll tell you the story. So a couple of our kids were sitting at a photo shoot. It was the spring going into my first year, and a couple of the kids were talking about, oh man, you're just Fulshear, you're just the other side, you're rejects, you know, like you guys suck, right? And one of the kids was like, yeah, we're just dirty Fulshear. And then one kid said, oh, yeah, we're just the dirty F, you know. And the next thing you know, it became a rallying cry for our kids. And so, like, hey, we're in a kid business. And who am I to say, nah, it's not good. I don't like that.
Right.
So I ran with it. And the kids ran with it. And now, I mean, you got a whole school that's behind it, a community's behind it. It's crazy. You got parents in the stands. We trademarked the F fingers, you know, the little cartoon things. We're putting them on our helmet this year. You know, but it's us. It fits us. It fits our kids. You know, just kind of we're just different. We do things the way we do it, and inside of our walls, you know, it's a family environment. I love where I'm at. I love my coaches, and my kids love it, and that's what matters. So.
And Coach, you love where you're at. I don't go down to Fulshear very often, but when I do, what is the number one spot to eat? What's your go-to eating spot in Fulshear?
Man, what are you in the mood for, brother? They got about everything. I'm telling you.
Give me your top 3.
Anthony's. It is a bougie restaurant outside in Simonton. Great spot if you want to spend some money, take the lady out, just saying. JLB Burger. Love me some burgers. One of the best burgers in Houston. I don't care what anybody says. That's a spot. I would say, you know what, man, I'm partial, man. There's a spot called Essentials Kitchen. It's a Venezuelan Colombian jive. Oh, bro, it's my jam, man.
Yeah.
Paella there. On point.
I'll have to give it a shot. Sitting by now with Nick Codutti, the head coach of the Fulshear Chargers. Coach, thank you for joining us,
Awesome,
man.
Gavin, thanks. Appreciate it,
Yes,
man.
sir.